like, I was trying to picture you like making all that
No.
on a Thursday morning. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot.
Yeah. I usually do that at the beginning of the week.
Okay, all right. You
Yeah.
treat yourself to the Redford Grill
No, to my own kitchen and making breakfast food.
once a week.
Yeah, more than that, but mainly during the beginning of the week.
Okay, that's cool to know.
Yes.
All right, so tell me a little bit about yourself, sir.
Well, I'll be 60 this year. Um, I'm a retired electrician. Um, I already have a little associates in liberal arts, but I was influenced or asked to kind of build back up my liberal classes just as well. Actually, my intentions are to transfer to University of Michigan, your alma mater.
Correct.
So there's a reason why we connect more than I even knew.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yes,
So are you gonna study film there?
absolutely.
Cool. No, that sounds great. That sounds
Yes.
great.
So I'm just planning on the opportunity as time moves on to continue on adding on a lot more liberal arts credits onto my transcript.
Okay. Um, so so tell me where you're from and a little bit about your early days as a young man.
Okay. Um, from the beginning, I was born on the Boulevard in the Lodge Freeway at Henry Ford Hospital. What is it, the fourth floor, the sixth floor, where they come in at? And I've gradually moved on to go to different sites of their health system, and it seems to be mutual on time it takes me to see a doctor. I'm not one for crowds as far as sitting there and waiting an hour to be seen by even a doctor. That's not my style. Um, I grew up there. I was born in Detroit. I presently live in Detroit. But I grew up and we moved a couple of times in that first 30 years under my mother's household. Again, my mom and dad were married, divorced, and remarried again to each other. So most people find that a little, I would say, odd to remarry the same person. But that was their feelings, and that's how they felt. They're all gone to heaven now, but I the seed's been planted in my heart and in my stomach. So the right things that you need to teach a child and teach a person, a young man, it's been taught and is well received. But gradually, as life goes on, I learned about other things. A little street life, not a lot, but a little. And I've learned some lessons about life about my family that are, you only get to realize them when you put them to the test. And when I say put them to the test, I remember when I first got married, which is jumping farther down the road, but I remember when I first got married, and it was our responsibility to find at least 50 of your relatives to show up on your day. And my relatives were proud and were there. and they showed me how much love there is in their hearts for me. And I never understood that till the day I put them to the test. And when you put your family to the test, you know what they are. They're not associates. They're not just acquaintances. They're your family. And they'll always be that, so that's one of the trials I've learned in life, just as well as other matters. But
When you say the test, can you elaborate on what?
the test is they'll be there. Just let them know the time, the date, and where, and they'll be there standing tall right with you.
Okay.
And I found that out. Even on both sides of my family, my mother's side and my father's side. So I have love for my family.
So let me, you went into the Air Force for a while, 1980, right?
Yeah,
You want to talk about that a little bit?
I'll go over it a little briefly.
Because you and I have three things in common. Well, we were both born at Henry Ford, Detroit. My military experience was a disaster. Not that yours was, but yours didn't pan out. Mine didn't pan out. There's a third thing. Oh, the U of M thing. So yeah. So when I'm bringing it up, I understand it. Because I went in as a reservist, and I didn't make it all the way through either. So, you're not alone here.
Okay, to elaborate, I went in
Say I went into the Air Force.
I went into the U.S. Air Force, and I had tested, and they said I would be good at being an aircraft electrician. I went in April '80. I got out in July of '81. Just enough to have benefits from the VA hospital, and that's where I stand. But I went as an aircraft electrician. I tested before. I tested after I got in and went into basic training in San Antonio. I got shipped to Chanute Air Force Base in Rantoul, Illinois. I went through my aircraft school, and then they shipped me out to Pope Air Force Base in Spring Hill, North Carolina. Spring Lake, I'm sorry. And I got there, and in my opinion, as I look at it today and before, I just wasn't mature enough to be in that state of mind. And also, I still thought I could do the things that I did when I was at home, but that was the wrong thing to do, and I'll be honest with it. And when I'm speaking, I'm talking about getting high. You got certain people that you hang out with in the military that are associates, and they are considered on the same level as you as far as getting high. You call them heads or dope heads or fellow get high, service people. But when it comes to stuff like getting high, my habit continued till I was around 30. But again, back to the U.S. Air Force, I basically wanted out after a year and a half being there. But, again, I don't feel I was mature enough to take on the responsibility that all I had, because the longer you're there, the more they're going to put on you and the more responsibility they expect out of you. and I didn't stand up to my expectations. So, that was where I got shipped and kicked out, and I moved on.
It sounds like let me just pause for a second. Is he too hot? No? He's not peaking at all, so, okay. But it sounds like the electrician part of it, though, was a takeaway that stuck with you, correct?
Absolutely.
So, there was something that came out of it.
There was an interest. At first, it was in C-130 aircraft. And then afterward, I kind of regret I didn't try to go into building maintenance and keep that same background as I came out of the military and did things, So I stuck with an aircraft electrician, and that's what I did in the U.S. Air Force.
I'm gonna turn it down just a little bit, I'm sorry.
So was that correct?
That should be good.
Okay, so it seemed like after that in Texas and then a little bit in Detroit, you mentioned you referenced some street life experiences. Do you want to just touch on that a little bit?
Just a street peddler. That's about the size of what I was.
What does that mean exactly?
Exactly, that means someone that buys